sales. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back to Sean's show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here as always with Mitch.
What's up, everyone?
He produces rappers and this podcast, which I don't know who's more dangerous.
So
Me?
just rappers. I only.
That is true. I actually did freestyle rapping in college.
Why does
look at me.
I mean, I know there's one Jewish girl who did freestyle rapping, and I feel like you guys had similar bars.
That's my ex-girlfriend you're talking.
Yeah. Did you
about,
date one of the other freestyle rappers?
You talking about Lil Tora?
Young Tora?
Young Tora? Young T? Young Tora?
No, she did like comedy freestyle rapping.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I was doing more serious freestyle. I was pretty serious about it.
Yeah, conscious.
I had a line where I went, look at me, bitch. I'm rolling in a Lincoln. Look at you, bitch. You ain't worth more than a Lincoln.
Ooh.
That's a bar.
That is a bar.
Right? Black people that watch this?
Yeah. All our black viewership.
We have I'm huge with the African Americans.
Yeah.
So that is the show, guys. Have a great day. No. Thanks for joining. I remember to say this up top. If you want to see me on the road, seanreillycomedy.com. I'm gonna be in, where am I gonna be? Columbus, Dallas. I'm gonna be in San Diego. I'm gonna be in Salt Lake City, Nashville, Austin, Tampa. That's a lot of cities. So if you listen and you're in those cities, come to the shows. They're selling very well. A lot of them are sold out, honestly. So don't even look up seanreillycomedy.com. They're all sold out, so don't bother. Honestly, don't. seanreillycomedy.com. They're mostly sold out. There may be like 1 or 2 tickets left. So
I'm looking on your website right now. There's still tickets available.
That's the button for tickets.
Oh, okay.
If you go and click on that, it'll say there's a lot available. There's a tremendous amount. There's a tremendous amount. So come see a show. And if you haven't yet, please review the show on Spotify and Apple. That helps us a ton. And subscribe on YouTube, comment, whatever, join the Facebook group, blah, blah, blah. Okay, links in the comments. So what do we have today? Here is a story that I fell into our laps. Usually I have to really dig to find the juicy shit for us to talk about. Mm-hmm. This is a story that showed up on my TikTok feed that you've probably already seen a little bit of. And I found a guy, the media found a guy who is one of the most incredible men alive. He is the union president of the ILA, which is the International Longshoremen Association.
Which is like dock? That's dock workers?
It's dock workers.
Okay.
So if you don't know what a longshoreman is, it's basically an alcoholic guy who's divorced. They're like, there's different types of alcoholics. There's like the fat slob divorced dad alcoholic. Mm-hmm. The longshoremen are like more fit. They're like functional alcoholics.
Yeah.
Most of the products that are delivered to us go through these alcoholic men. Yeah. Which is what I'm learning from this guy. Is he goes, my men, we'll play the video in a sec. But big news, they're on strike. The longshoremen are on strike. And I just want to it's very interesting because the longshoremen are one of the only unions that is not being supported by TikTok. Every union, every time someone goes on strike, the actors go on strike. SAG, IATSE, the film production, behind the scenes film. This is a non-union production, by the way. IATSE, these unions, they go on strike, and everyone under the age of all the Gen Z leftists, liberals, they all come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, sure.
And they go, we support the labor strike.
Yeah.
Except for the longshoremen. When the longshoremen go on strike and they ask for 77% over 6 years, which if you know a little bit of math, it's not that much. All of a sudden, all the TikTok comments I see is people that go, well, why do you deserve a raise?
Okay.
So suddenly, everyone that's Gen Z, these liberals, they're all scabs.
Interesting.
They're like, oh, we're gonna go on strike. Automation is taking over everyone's jobs. I'm really scared. All these these alcoholic losers, they go, I'm scared. I'm gonna lose my job. And all the TikTok comments are against the union. They're trying to discredit the union president, who we're going to hear from. They're going to go, well, how much does the union president make? You guys sound like Republicans. They sound like Republicans. And I'm like, what is the why do you support the actors and not the longshoremen?
Interesting.
There's a disconnect there.
Is it because like they don't want their Amazon packages to not arrive? Is there something to do with that?
That could be it.
Like you can always watch, there's plenty of shows that you haven't watched already. So like the boat's not getting loaded up.
That's bad.
That affects me, Sean.
That means no Chinese Adderall.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it affects me too. Because if Mitch doesn't have his Adderall, we're fucked.
We are fucked.
Guys, if the
Adderall, by the way, generic Adderall made in Israel.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that an interesting thing?
Not anymore.
That's the thing they don't talk about, the Adderall shortage.
Wait, are you for real?
I'm 100% for real.
Generic Adderall is made in Israel?
Is an Israeli pharmaceutical company, yes.
That's crazy. Teva?
I believe, yeah. I'll fact check that, but yeah. It is interesting. Nobody talks about how
is that why Iran... did Iran send missiles to the generic Adderall company in Israel? Like the president of Iran's like, we are sending ballistic... That's Russian. How do you speak Arab accent? Hello, my friend. No, that's... Farsi. What? Did that sound Farsi? We are sending the Fuck.
I don't want to do a Allah Akbar.
How did well, see, the thing is with accents, you have to say the racist thing to remind yourself what the accent sounds like.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it just to remind myself.
What is it? It's like Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Oh yeah. Allah. Okay. I got it.
Tel Aviv.
We are sending the missiles to the generic Adderall company. What's it called?
Teva.
We are sending the missiles to Teva. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah, generic Adderall shall be destroyed.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess that.
So it is imported.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And like the interesting coincidence when Israel was sort of remilitarizing, and amphetamine is a go drug in a lot of militaries.
That's right.
Actually, in the United States, up until I think like 2015 or something, amphetamine was like the go drug.
Well, it's still being used.
Modafinil now is the go drug of the United States military. Yeah,
modafinil contracts with the military
is the official go drug.
See, I feel like, is it nootropics or nootropics? I don't know the difference.
I think it's tomato sort of situation. Yeah.
So one of them's wrong.
Yeah. But I don't know.
People go tomato. I'm like, if you're saying tomato, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. It's like, is 1 + 1 2 or is it 3? Oh, well, whatever. What's the difference?
Nootropics.
Okay. So,
but anyways, that's my little conspiracy, Mitch's conspiracy corner about.
We need a soundboard.
Generic Adderall.
Where we go? What's the X-Files theme? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So all these goods, we need goods. America, we need goods. We import a lot of stuff from around the world. Israel.
Yeah,
Adderall from Israel.
Adderall from Tel Aviv.
We need cultural imports. I need to steal from other cultures to do the show. I don't have culture. I need to steal. You know what I mean? Like that.
Like what comes in on a boat? That's a culture. Magazines? Chinese magazines?
The people.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The immigrant culture.
How are we going to get immigrants into America without these longshoremen? These cranes, they grab the immigrants and they put them in these Democrat cities.
Boxes.
That's what JD Vance said in the debate. He's like, why the longshoremen are on strike? This is like JD Vance. He goes, the reason the longshoremen are on strike is because these cranes, these robotic cranes, these AI cranes are taking the immigrants off the boats and putting them in Democrat-run cities.
Yeah.
The longshoremen have to move the Haitians into Minneapolis, into my opponent Tim Walz's hometown, so that the Haitians can eat the dogs. That's what's happening, and it's very bad. So I support the strike.
He did really, like, every answer was kind of, that was Donald Trump too in the debate, where it's like everything is immigrants.
Yeah.
Which to a certain extent there is a problem with that, but yeah, it was like pretty it
was boring. Honestly, the vice presidential debate reminded me of what politics used to be like.
Right, yeah.
It was very measured.
I saw a lot of comments I was reading through, and it's like everyone's like, this is what politics is supposed to be. It's like, Yeah, like it's boring, and you don't. Nobody's saying what they think or what they mean.
Right.
They're all avoiding questions. You know what I mean?
I love that. They're like, this is what politics is supposed to be. Two white males, make sure they're white and male, talking about healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, no, it was crazy. But let's go back to the longshoreman. I do want to watch this video.
Okay, yeah.
So if you don't, if you've never, I want us all, the whole audience, I want us to meet this guy together. Can you tell me his name? I forget his name. Is Daggett? Harold Daggett or something like that?
Harold J. Daggett.
Harold Daggett. So this guy is like a modern day Sopranos character.
He's got a dock worker's last name, Daggett. I feel like that's generations of like 6th generation dock worker.
That's 6 generations of incest. It's 6 generations of cousins fucking to get a union boss.
I don't know, man. At the docks, you probably meet a lot of, different
retards,
different cultures coming in. I mean, maybe, but
I think a lot of longshoremen are white guys. All the maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I've only really seen like GED men, white men, pursuing a career in longshoring. Is that what you say? Longshoring. Anyway, white or not, let's meet Harold Daggett.
Yeah, can we go to the screen?
Yep. Okay, right. We're good. Actually, pause it. I just want to make sure we don't get copyright struck. Let's jump to like 30 seconds.
You joined in 1967.
Yes.
You must have an incredibly unique perspective on how the industry changed in those years. You came on before containerization, and you were a young guy and in the family of this industry. How?
All right, first off, I just want to say something. This man's swag.
He has swag.
Like the chains and the gold glass. Like look at these rims on these glasses.
What?
He looks like Pop Smoke. Dude.
No, he looks like Pop Smoke's manager. The longshore union president looks like Pop Smoke's manager. He goes, "Look, Pop Smoke. What do you think of when you think of excitement? You think of pop and you think of smoke. Pop Smoke.
Containerization.
When containerization happened, my fucking men. He hasn't even spoken yet, and you know he's a bad guy. You know that. Look, when your union boss president has a gold chain, he's gonna open his mouth. It's gonna be grills. He's gonna have a fucking grill.
He's got like blue tints too on the glass a little bit, like a little 2% blue tint.
And a goatee. I'm invested in this man.
Look at how sharp this fucking goatee is,
That's
man.
a fucking $1 million goatee you're fucking looking at. That's what he taught. So he's got a gold chain, and he's doing an interview with who knows what, but let's so the first question is about let's keep watching. It's about automation. Go ahead.
Do a 50,000-foot view of how you've seen it change. What is it to you?
I can tell you, it changed.
It's a fucking medallion on his.
Where?
There's a gold.
Back in the 60s.
Look, he's a fucking medallion on his gold chain. You know what the medallion says? Union till I die.
Really?
No,
I mean, maybe it definitely looks like it could be some sort of union thing or.
Yeah, he's a mob.
Navy
He's
thing.
probably a mob. We'll get to the mob ties, but let's keep watching.
The first company that started in containerization was Sealand. 2 guys, 2 truck drivers, Malcolm McLean,
Fake name.
Cecil Yeagers,
Fake name.
Jaegers.
got together and said, we're taking cargo up and down the
Can you
East
pause
Coast.
it? He goes, you know how longshoring started is these 2 guys, Colonel Mustard and Colonel Corn
And Dr. Ketchup.
and Dr. Corn Pop, and Dr. Ketchup was involved at some point as well. You know, these guys, these fucking guys. They said, you know what? We're fucking whacking these assholes. Yeah, in the trucking industry, what if we brought the mob to longshoring? What if we brought the mob to the ocean? You know the fucking Navy motherfuckers, these assholes in the Navy, they can fucking do. What if we brought the mob to the ocean? That's pretty much what he's saying.
Why don't we get a ship and put the cargo on a ship and go up and down the East Coast.
He's so like, dude, no wonder all your jobs are being automated. You think innovation is putting goods on a ship?
Also, containerization. Like I'm just thinking the Mayflower. Did they just not put things in containers?
Yes, that's a great point, Mitch. There have been containers. They've, in the words of every rapper ever, he's been had that. We've been had that.
Sure.
That's so great. He goes, you know, it wasn't always like this. We didn't have boxes.
Before Lieutenant Mustard.
Before Colonel Mustard and his associates had this brilliant idea to put the goods in the box.
Yeah.
We were just putting your fucking spices will be on the fucking boat straight out like a fucking pirate ship.
Yeah.
Then we got innovative. And by the way, as a union president, I hate innovation except containerization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genius containerization plan.
In containerization, it killed jobs, but it brought us to where we are. Okay.
Even thinking about over Europe, none of that. They wanted to
It's like a movie.
try to catch a trucking company to put it on a ship and bring it up here, put it on a ship and bring it down here.
Ooh.
So they went and got an old tanker ship, and they got engineers, and they sponsored the money, and they got people to chip in, and they came up and they built a crane on the ship, and they got a container, and they put the cargo in. And maybe the first ship came up with 50 boxes. Not even 50, 20 boxes. It worked. They came in to the port.
It worked.
The crane on the ship unloaded them.
It worked.
And they loaded them on, and they went down. Well, it caught on. And from there,
Boxes caught on.
everywhere
Wow.
you go in the world, you'll see those cranes. They look like monsters. No matter where you go, what port,
Can you pause it?
overseas.
When your union boss is sleeved up, you're fucked. Your union boss has a sleeve.
Also, what the fuck is this? They're doing this in front of a green screen?
No, dude, this is a 4K interview. That's a fucking lens.
It's supposed to be a candid conversation, and they have him sitting in front of a green
Is
screen.
it a green screen?
Yeah, look at his hand. Look at his hand.
I can see the key for my film nerds. That's a key light.
Yeah.
Or you can see the key. They didn't key out all the green.
Well,
Right?
no, also, his hand's getting cut off.
Europe,
You see, like
Rotterdam, to the port.
when it goes.
The crane on the
even-
ship
Oh, you're
unloaded
right.
them.
I can see the green
They
hue.
loaded them on.
It's just strange that they do a green screen and then they pick like this,
Window.
like really, I don't know.
It's a dock. Look, you can
I
see
guess
the cranes.
you know what? It does look like where a dock union would be housed. I guess
Yeah. Well, you know where the dock union is really housed?
where
Wall Street.
East Coast,
The East
baby.
Coast. It's you know where the union you know where the real union longshoreman company union negotiations take place. They take place at Riccardo's Italian or Rochi's or Cochise,
Right.
Cacacci's.
Buca
They're
di
all
Beppo's.
smoked. Yeah, it takes place at for the fucking Italian restaurant. They go, look, I'll tell you what. You think I give a fuck about any of these fucking men? How about this? You suck my dick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna record you sucking my dick. How about that? Then you don't ever give him a fucking raise. Either you give him a fucking raise or you suck my dick. How about that? That's how this guy negotiates. I like
it.
it.
Went down. Well, it caught on, and from there, everywhere you go in the world, you'll see those cranes. They look like monsters. No matter where you go, what port, overseas, Europe, Rotterdam, Amsterdam, anywhere, Spain,
Thailand. He starts listing just Southeast Asian Thailand, Laos, Malaysia. You seen these bitches in Malaysia, Thailand. I love these bitches in Thailand.
Rotterdam, Amsterdam, the Netherlands, the New Netherlands, Holland,
Australia, Hollyland.
Dollyland, Dollywood.
Let's skip ahead a minute. He starts talking about how he does not like technology, and I love it.
10 million, 5 million. Today, they make billions and billions of dollars. They make, MSC is the richest shipping company in the world, made 3 times the money than Amazon.
Pause that. That's just a lie. He's a
Yeah,
liar.
that can't be right.
There's no way a shipping, maybe in revenue, maybe, I don't even think in revenue, but if it, because there are a lot of private companies that do massive amounts of revenue, but it
For
depends on what he
profits.
means by made.
Yeah.
Sure, you know, he's at the very least, he's being disingenuous and you know, he's being disingenuous with the way he's presenting it.
Yeah, this is the face of when you make a point that you're pretty stubborn on. And
oh yeah, oh yeah. He's like, MSC. You know MSC? Of course you don't. They make fucking. They're 3 times as big as Amazon. He's like on a bunch of. He's on a bunch of Prozac. This is like Tony. He's like Tony Soprano. This is the Tony Soprano of the shipping industry. He's got a wife that he hates.
I don't know if he's on Prozac, dude. I feel like he would never even consider the fact that he could possibly have a mental health issue. He strikes me as one of those guys.
You don't think he's seeing a psychiatrist?
No, dude. No.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. This
A lot of money,
good.
right? Billions. Well, one of the companies, and I won't mention his name, he took himself the Christmas bonus, $4 billion. He took it out for him and his family. $4 billion.
Took out $4 billion.
See, that's like another like you can't take out you can't take a $4 billion bonus.
Just took it right out of the register.
You know, this multinational shipping company, you know, with tons of institutional shareholders, he only owns 5% took a $4 billion bonus.
Sean, he went into the safe and he took out $4 billion.
You know, these companies, they got these big safes. He went, he turned Donald Duck. You ever know Donald? That's who's negotiating for the longshoreman. He goes, he's a big fuck, I won't say it, but you know it rhymes with Hugh. He's a fucking, you know what I'm saying? This guy's definitely anti-Semitic. I can tell. He just wants to say these Jew lawyers. I can guarantee you that this guy's been like, these fucking Jew lawyers. He's there's no way he has never not said that phrase. Okay, let's keep going.
You know what? He kind of does look like, he kind of reminds me of Scrooge McDuck somehow. Like, I guess the white hair, maybe, the extremely white hair.
Yeah, the white hair.
Yeah, the gold. Yeah.
Gold chain.
Anyways.
Okay.
A French company, I won't mention their name, they gave all their employees 50 months' salary as a Christmas gift. Now, look at that money. They have so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. They know they're building up terminals. They want to go automation. They want more money now. Get rid of these men. We don't need them no more. It's a big change going on. I've been fighting automation for years. They destroyed LA. They put a fully automated terminal out there, Merce Line. 800 longshoremen lost their jobs. If it was up to them, they would like to see everybody lose their jobs. Let me tell you, it's not just in the longshore. They got ships in Europe that they're building. They got one now, runs on a battery, container ship. No crew.
Okay.
Somebody in an office building runs it.
Sounds good.
Goes out, goes in.
Easy.
They don't want anybody. They don't want to pay anybody.
Fine.
It's not only this union, it's in every union in every aspect. If they keep putting machinery to take our...
You know what's out of shot? Is that there are 2 longshoremen rubbing his feet right now. Out of shot, beneath the camera, like you probably can't see our feet, like Mitch's feet. There's 2 longshoremen that are rubbing his feet. Yeah. And there's another longshoreman jacking them off below where his chest is. Yeah. He goes, hey, rub a little to the left, That's right there, Johnny. it's.
I like the idea that he's like 5'3" and he's got his legs fully extended while sitting down. Yeah, got his pants rolled up.
Yeah, he's like a short guy.
Yeah, he's got his feet just out.
It is a green screen.
Yeah, he could be in a massage parlor right now, and they're just like, This is like where I like to do my candid conversations.
I'm most relaxed when I'm being massaged. I only do business when my feet are being massaged.
What do you think? What do you think about that? It seems like all right if remote control boats. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, how do you feel about automation in general?
I mean, look, it's you ever heard the phrase Luddite?
Yes.
Luddites. That's how I feel about it. I'm a libertarian. I love automation. I want jobs to be destroyed. Because if your job gets destroyed, it deserves to be destroyed in the name of capitalism. If I had it my way, not only would the longshoremen lose their jobs, they would be executed. They would be the longshoremen, if I had it my way, they'd be lined up on the dock. Right. And they go, your time has passed, old man, and they'd be summarily executed. And I would get robots to kill them. I wouldn't even spend the money on... I wouldn't even create jobs with their executions.
Right. You drone strike them.
I get a Waymo. I get a Waymo card. Oh, the automatic cars.
Oh, okay.
I get a Waymo to drive and hit all the longshoremen into the ocean. No, look, it's obviously I have a measured view about it. I'm a centrist, as you know, because being a centrist means I'm immune to criticism.
Right.
So, no, like on the one hand, and I want you to weigh in on this too, he's talking about cranes and he's talking about robotic arms and automatic logistics machines and technology infrastructure that replaces manual labor.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to automatic robot arms, I'm not against a robotic arm. These are robotic arms. What if we were doing the show and instead of these arms, someone had to hold the mic for us? Two jobs. So we
Job.
right? So it's like was that your signal to keep watching?
No, but that was convenient where he just goes jobs.
No, what do you so look,
as far as the mic holders men union.
yeah, where's the mic holders international mic holding union?
Yeah. The Mike Handsman's union.
Look, they got these automatic mic stands where you don't even need a fucking guy holding the mic stand. It's like, or what about chair? We can say, look, you see these chairs and couches, you know these things called chairs? You ever heard of a chair? I'm fucking sitting down. You don't even need all these guys. They hold my ass up. And now we got automatic chairs. You don't need a fucking guy.
Yeah.
So like,
you hear these things, Dr. Scholl's foot insoles? You don't even need 5 Chinese guys massaging your feet during an interview.
He's probably getting a massage by a robot. He's getting his foot. So it's like,
it is interesting. In one breath, he like talks about how like cool it was that these 2 guys like Johnny Mustard and Lieutenant Meatballs put together this amazing technological innovation.
Tony Meatball.
of putting the materials in the containers.
That's right.
You know what I mean? On one hand,
right.
And these beautiful cranes, and we got now all over the world. You're seeing these beautiful cranes. You go to Venezuela, but then on the other hand, he's like, but like any sort of anything beyond like mechanical engineering. Once you have to write like a line of code to do something,
he hates code.
Yeah,
he draws. So he talks about. Okay, that's a great point.
Yeah.
So he's like He's talking about. Containerization was amazing for the industry.
Probably some guys that were just holding the stuff on the ship.
Containers, no, and that's the disconnect is, containerization. I bet a lot of people at that time were like, I don't like these boxes. Yeah, what the fuck? I gotta hold this shit. I hold this shit. That's my job.
The guys' stuff holders union was really pissed off.
The goods holders union. They go, wait a second. You're gonna put all the goods in a fucking box? I gotta feed my fucking family. Yeah. You know, his best argument is he goes, if you replace all the jobs with robots, who's gonna pay taxes? That's his best argument.
Who's gonna? That's a. Whew.
That's not, dude. If that's your best argument, we're fucked. You're fucked. You're like, he's like, how are we gonna keep up this lie that these jobs are needed if you replace the jobs with robots? Yeah. If you replace the jobs with robots, the whole world's gonna see that we're bullshitting you. We're fucking you. Yeah. So let's keep going. Let's see.
Who's going to pay the income tax?
There you go.
Machines are not. Who's going to pay for the military?
Who is not? Hold on.
If they keep putting machinery to take our jobs, who's going to pay the income tax? Machines are not. Who's going to pay for the military, the roads, everything?
Such a bad argument.
We're automating the military too. They just drone bomb everything. You know what I mean?
I know. The military doesn't need as much money. Thank you.
No. Okay.
Thank you, Daggett. Thank you, Harold.
Take Easy Pass.
Okay.
The first time they came out with Easy Pass, 1 lane, and cars were going through, and everybody's sitting in their car and go, what's that all about? Well, I'm going to get one of them. Today, all those union jobs are gone, and it's all Easy Pass. People don't realize it. Everybody's...
So, I mean, that's like a great example where it's like, come on, we need those jobs where we need a guy that's sitting on a booth in the middle of the highway for 8 hours counting change. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a vastly inferior, less efficient system.
Also,
like Easy Pass.
That's an incredibly dangerous dangerous job to be on a highway.
Yeah. I don't know the statistics on how, I mean, skateboarding could be more dangerous.
That's true.
We're not going to automate skateboarders. That's for sure.
Not yet. You ever see a Dynamics? What's the company?
Boston Dynamics.
You ever see a Boston Dynamics robot do a kickflip? Not yet.
But even if a Boston Dynamics dog could do a flip-a-do, it would be less. The spirit of skateboarding is that it's a human doing it. That's one thing that
You
won't
sound
be.
like Harold.
I know.
Sorry, Mitch. You sound like Harold.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's gonna be a Boston Dynamics robot has an Instagram profile doing kickflips
With a hat on.
with
the dog's
he's
got
gonna have a
on.
hat, and he's gonna talk like a skater. He's gonna talk like a skater. He's gonna have a voice agent, an AI voice agent. He's gonna be like, radical dude.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna get a gun and kill him. He'll mow down the human
If Slim
skaters.
jeans are in style, he'll wear baggy jeans on his Instagram.
That's
this
right.
dog. If baggy jeans are in style, he'll wear slim jeans. Yeah.
He's a cultural innovator.
Right.
And then once he's done skateboarding, he's gonna go to his job as a longshore robot.
Yeah.
Let's.
Is there anything more in here?
There's a little more. Let's keep watching.
He's got 3
It gets
cars.
funny.
Everybody got an easy
We're
pass
almost
on
done.
the window. And they go through like it's nothing. And they get billed in the mail. They didn't care about that union worker working in the booth. You go in a store today, it's self-checking. They don't need anybody to check out no more. Someone has to get into Congress and say, whoa, time out. This world is going too fast for us. Machines got to stop. Yes, we're getting smart kids out of MIT and all these places. Yeah, they're all brilliant.
Yeah.
But what good is it if you're going to put people out of work?
Okay. That's where you know. So the question, ladies and gentlemen, remember that the question was, how has the industry changed? And at the end, he's talking about Easy Pass, and he's talking about MIT, and he's talking about how he's like, whoa, time out. He sounds like a boomer. I was like, okay, boomer. That's my response. He goes, the world's moving so fast. Someone's got to get into Congress and go, whoa, my son is trans. I don't know what's going on.
I also like the idea that like a guy that's getting a doctorate at MIT has like designed the grocery store self-checkout.
That's unfortunately true. It's unfortunately true.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm applying for jobs right now. I'm telling you, dude. That is where our intellectual capital is going in America.
Really? Okay.
It's
But like,
going
what is there to innovate? You just scan the code and then you put your number in, right?
You'd be surprised how much
That
technology.
might sound like a boomer now. I don't understand what the technology is.
I mean, there's lots of little details involved in scanning your face and sending it to the NSA.
Oh,
A
okay,
lot of
right.
what people forget about innovation is that when people have these AI technologies, a big part of it is building a database, a racial database.
Yeah.
When you do a self-checkout, people forget. It's not just designing the technology to like scan the barcode and like link the product to and charge your card. It's scanning your irises to create a coin that you get that you can buy food for in the future.
Well, I heard something about Target recently. Like they have like a super advanced security system that's sort of automated in a way where they like scan people's faces and they create a profile on you and like give you like a little digital tag. So if you steal something, then they'll like alert the system when you come in the store.
Add it to your total. It's a tab.
Right. Yeah. So I guess, there is some things like that, but I'm just talking about like the fundamental technology that he's talking about of like, for instance, Easy Pass. It's like not that complicated of a technology. That's all
It's really not. Well, see, the thing is, a lot of things are over-engineered.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, okay, we need to send our car through a toll and we want to charge it automatically based on the license plate. Well, a bunch of MIT engineers go, okay, I'll charge you $1 million an hour, $1 million a year. Pay me $1 million a year and I'll do that. And then they just use a fucking bullshit AI library where they're like, they go, oh, well, we can use computer vision for that.
Yeah.
And then the government goes, wow, that sounds fancy. And they go, it is.
Well, I guess if it does technically make it like 2% more efficient, it could be worth the investment just because they're such large scale technology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
so that's it with Harold. We're done with Harold.
I love Harold, man.
I like him. I like the guy. I want to read a couple comments. So my overall point with that was this, is that we met the union president and I want to read you some comments. Listen. So the longshoremen are on strike. And here's what TikTok people have to say. Here's the top comments. Ready? Automated machines don't sit around for hours while truck drivers wait in line for containers. Machines don't go on strike. Machines don't strike. Someone is controlling and repairing the machines. It's called the future. So where's the outrage? That's what I want to know. Where is the outrage from the young Gen Z leftists? Why are you not standing up for these retarded longshoremen who have families to, well, they're all divorced. They don't have families to feed. They've got nothing, but they have their jobs.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some of them are probably not so stupid. I feel like the leader of the spiritual leader of the profession maybe is kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But probably individual longshoremen, just regular dudes.
No, it's their regular.
They might not know about Chapel Roan or something.
And that's why they need to be shot.
Like, they might not have the same frame of reference, but to say that they're retarded is...
You think it's too much?
I think that's too much, man. Maybe this guy who is like, you know, I've been looking at boxes on ships for 40 years. It's greatly inspiring to me. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, maybe that guy, but like, yeah, just some dude who's loaded in boats. I don't know, dude.
He's you know, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
I think what we need to remember is that, you know, it's just, you know, you either support labor or you don't.
Yeah.
You can't only support actors. You can't, like, all the shit that they're saying, all these people, they're like, well, like, you know, oh, you're striking? Well, how about I take your job? I thought you guys were like hated corporations. Now suddenly all of TikTok is siding. And no one else has this take. That's why you watch Sean's show. Like, everyone is talking like they're being shills for the shipping companies. I'm shocked. Like, I'm literally shocked. That so you know when SAG striked, and I don't want to spend all episode on this, but you know when SAG-AFTRA went on strike, everyone was like, support the actors. We don't want to let AI make the B-roll. AI B-roll is very bad. We have to, but if we use AI for the animation voices, then voice actors won't have work, and that's really bad.
Right.
They all said that. Then out of the other side of their mouth, when the longshoremen go, these cranes are moving too fast. These cranes,
the containers contain too many goods nowadays.
I can't physically hold the iPhones.
Yeah.
That's not economical anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone, they don't go like this. They don't go, what about the longshoremen? They go, die, bitch. And you want to know what? My overall point is this. This is how you get Donald Trump elected. It is.
How?
Because if you only, longshoremen is a generally white male profession. And I could be wrong about the white part. It's a generally male profession. And I'm stereotyping here, but from what I've seen, the little of what I've seen is that it seems to be a lot of people that are, you know, probably Republican. And
probably, yeah.
That's
safe to say.
And that's what it comes. And it's like, look, I don't give a fuck about Democrats. I don't give a fuck about Republicans. I don't care what you believe politically. If you believe anything politically, put a bullet in your head. Truly. An airsoft bullet, because I still want you to listen to the show. But when you only support Democrats and actors that go on strike and creative striking fields, and you don't support the strikes of the longshoremen, you're going to get Trump elected, because those people are going to be like, you know what? No one, this is like the poor white trash in Appalachia that voted for Trump because they wanted better for their communities. Yeah. It's the poor whites. The longshoremen, they're the poor whites. So anyway, I don't want to spend all episode on it. But
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like you're seeing kind of liberal people speak out against the unions, and it's kind of confusing.
It's odd.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I thought you guys were like union till I die.
Right.
And now suddenly you're not. It's just weird to me. But let's move on. So we got Israel We have a lot of shit to cover. So we got Israel. Let's do Israel.
Well, one last thing on this
Yeah.
dock workers thing. It's like, it becomes kind of obvious. Like, okay, you're no longer having this principled thing about unions and workers' rights, because when it's Hollywood that's striking,
It's sexy.
it's a liberal institution,
Right.
and you want to protect them. But when it's like dock workers who look like fucking Peter Meatball over here, it was like there's no question this guy would never vote for Kamala Harris. You know what
That's
I
right. That's right.
mean? So
all of a sudden,
fuck the unions. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, well, you should have learned to code. Okay. Well, maybe you're right. I mean, so, and again, in both these cases, I again, you can't stop automation. You can't. You can try to regulate it, and it's not going to work in the long run. So I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance, and but I just think no one has a principled view on this at all. It's very funny. It's so yeah, that's and that's pretty much all there is to say. But I Harold, here at Sean's show, we wish you luck. And we are a pro-labor podcast. If you ever decide to unionize against me, Mitch, you will have hell to pay. If you
I'm part of the Longshoremen's
if
Union.
you create
the Shortshoremen's Union, which is the podcasters,
you're
podcast
part of the
producers,
podcast armsman union.
Yeah.
It's just it's out of hand. So let's move on to Israel. So
Boom. let's do it.
Israel was hit by about 200 ballistic missiles. Iran fired 200 ballistic missiles at the generic Adderall factory in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Because Iran doesn't want people on Adderall. I don't know why. There's a lot of conspiracies around that. But there's this. We have one more video. Is that okay, Max? Oh yeah. Sorry. So there's a video here that I just want to play. It's a shorter video, but I just want to. It should. You got it. Oh yeah. Could you twist the laptop a bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's just. Is the sound?
Yeah. Here we go. Were you up on the video?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's watch this. So it's pretty scary. It hits the and you hear the sound, and he backs up. There's something I want to talk about. See that coffee table? I want to get that coffee table.
That is a nice coffee table. That's crazy how I mean this is a really retarded thing to say, but it's crazy that missiles are like thunder and lightning. That's kind of like sound travels really slow. Like it
Sound
explodes,
yeah.
and you see it, and then no. After you see it, you know what I mean? That's pretty.
I also
scary.
want that telescope. They have a cool telescope.
Right. He looks like he's living
He's living pretty nice.
Pretty high.
Yeah, but anyway, you can put up next to the video there.
Yeah.
So the Iron Dome isn't. If the news basically, no one actually got killed by the missiles, and I don't know this for sure, but I believe that when a lot of strikes like this happen, either intentionally or unintentionally, there's a lot of telegraphing that goes on to the country that's going to be hit. Okay. I think it's almost like in the rules of war that you would call is you would there's some sort of advance, and sometimes there's an advance, not this time I think, but sometimes there's an advance notice hey, we're gonna strike, so just FYI.
Dude, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to missile you.
That's what it is. No, it's hey man, it's out of it's out of my hands, we just FYI. So the Iron Dome was mostly effective, which is Israel's defense system, and no one was killed by the missile strikes, which makes me think that they were either the targets were largely infrastructure,
okay,
or they were the areas must have been evacuated before the strike happened. So in any case, this to me is fucking crazy. I mean, it's getting
hot. Yeah.
It's getting hot. It's getting really hot. Israel had there was a ground invasion in Lebanon. The IDF is on the ground in Lebanon. So now you have the IDF on the ground in Palestine, in Gaza, and you have the IDF in Lebanon, and I think Iran is like, hey, what's up? What's up, bitch? That strike was basically like, what's good?
Mhm.
That was like a what's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Israel's like, and apparently, you know, we'll see what Israel does.
The
But
IDF, they're just defending Israel, though.
that's right.
Yeah.
They're defending the expansion of Israel.
Right. Yeah.
Look, what the IDF is doing, the Israel Defense Forces, Israel has the right to defend itself in Lebanon. In Lebanon,
150% they're allowed that.
And I really want to be careful here, because I think this is going to split our listener base down the middle.
Yeah.
Between people that are pro genocide and don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to click away from this because they don't care.
Mhm.
And a lot of people that are pro genocide may get mad when I say this, but some genocides are not good. Some of them are bad.
But Israel has the right to defend themselves.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the genocide of the Israelis that happened on October 7th, that I still am, there was a knife in my chest.
Yeah.
When I found out about October 7th, you know where I was?
No.
I was on a dock. When I heard about October 7th,
You're
I
in
was
a container.
I was working on the dock. I was on a dock in one of those cranes.
Mhm.
That's what I do for you know, my day job, because you know, we're still building the show. Subscribe to the Patreon. Until then, I work as a longshoreman,
Mhm.
and I was working really hard at my job on the longshore. They call it that, you don't really know this, Mitch, but they call it the longshore. And
right. The East Coast, we call it the Longshore.
and I was in the crane, and I was sort of just sitting there, you know, scrolling TikTok, because it's a skilled job. I was sitting there in my crane, and the computer was kind of doing all the work for me.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there with my feet up. I'm scrolling TikTok. And that's how I learned about October 7th. That's how I learned about the strike. And, you know, I gave a call to Harold. I was like, Harold, did you see what happened? And you know what Harold said to me? He went, ha, ha, ha. Those fucking Jews get what they deserve.
Ooh.
Harold is a Hamas supporter.
I don't know, dude. He's got for a you know, pink white guy. He has a pretty Jewish thing going on.
Well, I don't know. I'm watching The Sopranos. A lot of mobsters they're very anti-Semitic. They're very anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I think weirdly enough, I feel like Harold would hate Arabs and Jews.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I think Harold likes money.
Yeah. But anyways,
So-
yeah, it's hard to say at this point that the Israeli Defense Force is defending Israel anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're losing. It's just they lose credibility.
But also, it's just like at this point, also, they're at war. So I guess like if they just stopped fighting these countries, I guess like what they probably would, you know what I mean? Like if they just decide, okay, we're only going to fight a defensive war,
Right.
they would be put in a trap. Like it's a little bit too late to just say, all right, we're just going to put this all back in the box and go home, you know?
It's you really can't do that. Yeah. And I it's what I think when I read these comments sometimes online where they're like, people are like, it's crazy that religious fundamentalism has led humanity to this dark time. It has nothing to do with religious fundamentalism. It's an excuse. It's a tiny little piece of land. Can we be honest here? It's a tiny, in the grand scheme of things. And also, obviously, the people there are being slaughtered, which is fucking tragic.
Yeah.
But it's a tiny piece of land.
What piece of land
I'm
are you
talking about
talking
Gaza.
Okay, all right.
This is horrible.
Okay.
But I'm gonna finish the take.
All right, go for it.
It's tragic, and I believe that Israel's committing a genocide.
Where's Mecca? Where's Mecca in the geography of the things? Do we know? Does anyone know?
It's called Newark, New Jersey.
Is it? it's
The Mecca?
It's
Are you talking about the crane Mecca?
the Mecca of containers? You talking about the East Coast?
You talking about container Mecca? The fucking boxes. How about this? How about we just put Gaza in a container? Containerize it.
Right.
Let's containerize it
This is what we're not thinking. But anyways, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you could say that it's not about religion because, you know, both religions have some claim to the land in their mind.
That's true, but
Yeah.
and that is a good point. But I think that if you take a step back and you think about it, how, again, I always love to ask the Latin phrase cui bono, who benefits? Who benefits from an invasion of Lebanon? Who benefits from the carpet bombing of Gaza? And the people that benefit are as follows. The politicians in the Arab nations, they gain more power. The politicians of Israel, the politicians of the United States empire. These are the people that all collectively benefit from a war. The shareholders of defense contractors. These are all the people that benefit from war and slaughter. And I believe that these politicians and these defense contractor people, they don't give a flying fuck about the Torah or the Quran or what it says about when Jesus will return or Mecca or bullshit. They don't give a fuck about that. They like dividends. They like money. They like cash. They like getting dinner with Harold Daggart.
Yeah, but
do you think
Palestinians wouldn't be like jihading it
So
up?
did you just use the J word on my show?
Yeah. Well, do you think they wouldn't be doing that if government wasn't involved or something? You know what I mean?
On that point, I think that if my family was killed, destroyed before my eyes by a foreign government, you become a victim. It's instantly radicalized. But when you drop a bomb on a home, you create more terrorists.
Yeah.
In quotes, if you're just listening.
I'm just going back to like the initiation of the violent confrontation. I guess the continuation of it. Yeah. Who benefits the initiation of it? Would that have not happened? Do you think that was funded by government operatives? Like some sort of...
I can call George Soros right now and I can
just ask him.
I'm kidding. It was Jeffrey Epstein. No, dude, I don't... Well, have you seen Shutter Island, Mitch?
No.
Oh,
what is that?
What?
No, I don't.
You've never seen Shutter Island?
No.
Bro, with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
One day we should do a watch party on the Patreon.
Okay.
Like a Shutter Island watch party.
Yeah.
Dude, you'd love this movie. It's about two longshoremen. I'm kidding. It's about two federal agents who go to a island which has a mental institution on it for the craziest of the crazy. And it's a psychological thriller and it's unbelievably good. But I won't spoil it, but I'll tell you one scene from the movie that is relevant here.
Yeah.
So in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio is in a car with one of the leaders of the mental institution, like one of the head guys. And they're driving back to the main office. And, it's such an incredible scene. The main guy goes to Leonardo DiCaprio, who's the visiting agent. He looks at Leonardo DiCaprio and he goes, "We are men of violence. You and I have known each other for millions of years." And then he looks closer at Leonardo DiCaprio and he goes, "Do you think you could stop me before I try to gouge your eye out with my hand?" And Leonardo DiCaprio goes, "Why don't you go ahead and try?" And that to me is such a good.
And then they kiss or what happens?
And then they fuck.
No, what happens after that?
Nothing. Then they go to the car.
Really?
Yeah.
That would never happen in real life. Some guy's like, "I'll fucking eat your soul and take your eyes out," and he's like, "I'd like to see you try." Okay, back to regularly scheduled program.
I'm not doing the scene justice.
Okay, all right.
But that is like, to me, it speaks so well to the violent nature of humanity. And so you're talking about who started it. That's what was your question, right?
I guess in a way. I guess is it a purely governmental thing? I don't know. Like, was the military industrial complex in any way involved with? I guess they were in some peripheral way with Hamas, but like the spirit of Hamas is a different thing, I guess. It's not. All I'm trying to say is it doesn't strike me as a purely, like, sure, governments benefit from it, but it's not entirely a non-religious, non-spiritual thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think there are people that actually believe in Islam and Judaism. And, that's hilarious. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's I almost think like, people are like, it's heating up. It is heating up, but it's like, it's I feel like it's just content. Like whenever Iran fires missiles at Israel, it's almost like so the media can make money off the story. It is kind of a content generation. It's content generation. It's what we do.
Yeah.
They're making content.
It probably feels like that. It's crazy to be so desensitized to like videos of like missiles blowing up buildings and shit. It is pretty wild. It is. Yeah.
It's an escalate.
Because that is so not happening in the United States.
Dude, I feel like
life is pretty good.
It's so true, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we are so numb to like what we forget. The last attack on American soil was when these Chinese companies started building these cranes for the longshores. That was the real, no, it was 9/11. And then after that, it was the Chinese cranes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude, like it's an escalation. Certainly it's an escalation.
Yeah.
And I really don't know like when Israel invades Lebanon, that's not good. I mean, you have this, but you know what was crazy? Some of the, there's a lot of reactions that just didn't really make, the people's reactions to the news this week didn't make sense to me. First of all, you have the left outraged that a labor union strike is happening, and they're throwing the laborers under the bus, and they're siding with the multinational corporations. That's crazy to me. That's people that have lost the plot. Then you have people that are celebrating that Israel's getting bombed. The people that are like pro-Palestine and they're like, stop the genocide, are seeing Israel get bombed, and they're going, get some, bitch. And I'm like, I thought you guys were nonviolent.
No, those people are not nonviolent. No, I don't think they ever claimed to be nonviolent.
A lot of them are like, I want peace. They want a ceasefire.
Yeah, but they want to.
It's a fragmented group. Also,
yeah,
it's not all. They're not a monolith.
Also, I think part of the characterization of the war as a genocide has to do with the idea that one side is defenseless.
Right. So
the idea that those people that would be characterizing the thing as a genocide, not to say it's not a genocide or whatever, but the idea that they would be happy about a retaliation strike totally makes sense to me.
I mean, I would. If I was in Palestine, if I was in Gaza and I thought my parents would get blown up,
yeah,
and then I heard that the people that blow my parents up got bombed, I'd feel pretty happy.
Yeah.
But, I would also think, damn, like, I feel for the longshoremen at the same time. Like my family gets destroyed. I go, what about the automation and what about the automation of the shipping industry?
Right. Yeah.
I would go up to that little boy. I go, can you tell, what do you think about Harold Daggert? And
pretty cool guy, right?
And he go, inshallah, automation gets regulated. Inshallah.
Excuse me, little boy, have you ever seen The Sopranos?
But that's all we're gonna do on Israel because it's exhausting. It's just
it's a rough topic, man. And I feel like I don't really have the answers to the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Luckily, I do, and that's why you listen to Sean Show. So let's answer some questions from the Facebook group.
Beautiful.
If you want to go to facebook.com, let me see if I got any questions.
Okay.
I believe we did.
Sean Riley, Sean's show.
It should be on the left.
Okay. Here we go. Devoted followers. Questions.
We got a lot from Gary. Gary, I love you.
If you held your own version of a Diddy party, would it be all of us watching the stock market and individually eating our favorite 5-pound bags of candy with coffee? Ain't no party like a Sean Riley party.
Gary, that's a yes from me. That's a big yes.
Yeah.
I you know me too well.
What's your favorite 5-pound container of candy?
Oh, Airheads Bites.
Yeah.
If you haven't tried Airheads Bites, we're not even sponsored by Airheads Bites. Airheads Bites are the new candy on the market, and they are incredible. So look out for Airheads Bites. They're like chewy, and then you chew on them, then you get diabetes. And it's like such a great experience.
Beautiful.
I love no, Gary, that's a great question. Honestly, I've been to Diddy party. No, I'm kidding. I've been to like a venture capitalist party, like a very. I was doing comedy at this venture capitalist guy's house, and you know, it's just scary. The amount of wealth at that party was crazy. Then he paid me like $500, which was pretty good. You know,
Not bad.
But no, that's if I had my own like crazy wild party, yeah, it would be us watching the stock market. Honestly, it would be us looking at rental properties to invest in together. I want to like eventually with the show, like I want to like get everyone together and start like a real estate fund.
Okay.
I want to like invest in, you know, some homes and maybe evict some families.
Sounds like a very fun party.
As a bit. Next question.
Can the U.S. just skip the BS and annex Canada already? I'll be commenting individual questions, separate comments. Okay. Sure. Annex Canada? What do you have any thoughts on annexing Canada?
I mean, it's already been annexed culturally. Canada is. Have you been to Canada, Mitch?
Yeah. I love Canada.
I hate it.
Really? Why?
Because when have you been to Toronto? Toronto
No, I've been to Montreal. Maybe
Montreal's cool.
Yeah.
Montreal, but that's France. Montreal, you're in France. You're not even when you're in Montreal, you're not in Canada, you're in France.
Okay, a little bit.
When you're in Toronto, that's Canada, and it's the most soulless, faceless, numb, just place, just vapid, vanilla shit.
Like it's Miami without the beach.
It's Miami without the cocaine.
Yeah, okay.
Canada, it's Toronto. You go there and there's nothing exciting. It's like if Starbucks was a city. Toronto is like if Starbucks was a city. You have the homeless people in the bathrooms. You know, you walk down the street. You know when you walk down the street.
Good coffee.
It's I'm just kidding. But you know when you walk down the street in New York.
Yeah.
And you feel like a.
Okay.
You feel like a. There's something going on here.
Sure.
There's something happening here.
Mm-hmm.
What it is ain't exactly clear.
Sure.
Like you feel an energy.
In Toronto, you're like, there's nothing happening.
There's nothing happening here. What it is, it's exactly clear. I said, stop. Hey, I gotta get out of Toronto. So, but the thing is, Canada is like wannabe America. They want to be America so bad, but you guys have your healthcare plan's too good. They're like, we want to be like you guys. And then we're like, okay, well, like, why are you giving everyone healthcare? Why are you, that's not a good start.
Can you at least like have some problems? That would be good.
They do have, so I don't know. I mean, I would like to see Canada get annexed by the US.
Yeah.
What are they doing with the land? I sound like Israel. What are they doing with the land anyway? See, that's the thing. If the US annexed Canada, I don't think anyone would be mad.
No.
Maybe some Torontoans would be mad. Maybe Drake would get upset, but he's a pedophile.
But Gary, I don't understand. Like, what would I don't know. This is skip the B. Like, does anybody want America to annex Canada? Skip the BS. Like, what's the counter argument? Like, what's the big discourse about annexing Canada? What's the BS exactly that we're trying to skip here? I don't understand.
I mean, I got to side with Gary here. We are what he's saying is we're dancing around the main point, which is that Canada is weak. It's a weak country. It's like a wounded, well, let me put it this way, Mitch. What if we were out, you ever hunt?
No.
I've never hunted either.
Okay.
Let's say we're on a hunting trip and there was a wounded deer that I shot.
Mm-hmm.
You would go, and I was just kind of like,
I'll go, ow.
I would go, I would be like, hey, Mitch, let me get a photo with the wounded deer.
Yeah.
You would be like, dude, Sean, skip the BS and blow its head off. Stop. That's what Gary's saying we need to do to Canada, and I fully agree.
Okay. Well, thanks, Gary, for writing in questions. I really, really appreciate it.
We have one more from Gary, right? Thank you, Gary. I owe you $15. Oh shit! I gotta send you the number to leave a voicemail. I'll send that to you right after.
I really want to hear Gary's voice. I want to hear. Actually, I shouldn't have said that because now he's gonna do a voice. But
honestly, Gary, it would be really cool if you did like a recording and then you sent it through an AI voice filter to make it sound
Don't
like
do that.
to make it sound like Harold Dagger.
Anyways, yeah, thanks for writing in, guys. If you want us to answer your questions, check out Sean's show on Facebook groups.
Link in the comments. So that about covers it. I think we're gonna move into the Patreon, guys. I hope that was basically it. I mean, I don't want to leave anything out of the free episode. That was the big. Oh, obviously the debate. Let's do a few minutes on the debate. The debate. Yeah,
well, we already talked about it. It was a pretty
yeah.
unremarkable. Two guys kind of doing politician things. You know what I mean?
Tim Waltz. There was a very funny moment with Tim Waltz. That he misspoke. But we don't have to watch the video. But when Tim Waltz misspoke and he goes, "I've hung out with the families of Sandy Hook. I've become friends with school shooters."
Yeah, but he didn't mean to say that.
Mitch.
You actually thought he was like, "Oops." Oh, I let the cat out of the bag.
He goes.
I mean, no, I wasn't friends with the school shooters.
That's something I would say.
Yeah.
I go, I've become friends with school shooters.
I mean, no, they're not cool. I was not playing League of Legends with them online.
He goes, the Parkland shooter, I hung out with him. I honestly just want a rapper to sample that. I become friends with school shooters. I become friends with school shooters.
Beautiful.
I become friends with school shooters. Or how about this? You could cut out the school and be like, I become friends with shooters. That's cool.
That is cool.
So no, there were a few gaffes here and there. Nothing that remarkable.
What do you think about Tim Waltz and going to Tiananmen Square? He seems to he was a bit like, I said I was in China, but then I was like not really in China, but then I was there, and he kind of
he danced around it. Yeah. So I guess he had
sounds like to me he just exaggerated the point a little bit that he was there during the uprising, but he wasn't in Tiananmen Square, and maybe he said he was.
It's what is more important to me than whether or not he was actually there. Is that why was he sending classes to China? He set up a China thing for his school where he was sending sports teams to China.
Dude, I don't know. That sounds pretty sick.
I think he was trying to get the NBA. I think he's like, the NBA is owned by China.
He's like, Yao Ming, we need he's like, Yao Ming is so tall. We need more of that.
I honestly think that I think Tim Waltz, to me, I would go to China. So I mean,
it sounds like an enriching experience.
I don't think any country should exist, period. I don't think cultures should
Interesting take.
Nothing should exist. No sovereignty is an excuse to create war and kill people and make money off war. So, but when he goes to China, I'm like, Tim, do you like America?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are you a spy?
Yeah, why don't you send your students to America, Tim?
Why don't you send your students to Florida?
Right.
How about you send your students to Appalachia? How about you send your students to a real place? Canada.
Indiana. Corn fields.
How about you send
corn and soybeans? What America's all about.
Soy. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a softball. It was weird. It was like a softball, and then he fumbled it. They were like, "Can you explain, Tim, where were you during the Tiananmen Square uprising?" He was like, "Oh." It's like no American even knows what that is. That's the thing about it. They're like, Tim Waltz, were you or were you not in China during the uprising? He goes, and it's like people that are watching this are wasted drinking White Claws. They're wasted. They're absolutely wasted.
That is an interesting phenomenon. People just getting shit-faced drunk for the debates.
Dude, totally. I mean, yeah, bars will live stream the debate.
Yeah.
And it's that's the only, you can't watch. I watched it sober.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I was on a bunch of caffeine.
Okay.
I was not sober. I was on stimulants.
Yeah.
The only way to watch that is high. If you watch the debate sober, it's just unwatchable.
Well, I watched them sober, but yeah, it was pretty, like I was saying, it's just kind of boring. I mean, that's what people love and hate about Trump is the guy is a spectacle. You know?
It is. And I like it. I don't like It's hard to process. It's really hard to process. But you know, that's it. I guess that's the only debates we're gonna get. We're gonna get one debate between Trump and Kamala, and one debate for the vice. That's it. Trump doesn't want to do another debate.
We should have the containerization mogul Jay Daggett debate a TikTok liberal. That'd be pretty great.
Dude, I mean, he's a union president.
Yeah.
It's weird. He's such a weird guy. He's a union president who is a Republican, I think. Maybe he's not. I don't know. He seems like a mobster. And I like a mobster because mobsters like business. Mobsters like making money, and they'll do business with anyone regardless of their political beliefs. And I like that. I don't like this splitting hairs over politics. I like a guy that gets shit done, even if that means we don't have goods in our homes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like here he took a picture with Donald Trump. He said he had a wonderful meeting with Trump and endorsed his position.
Really? When was that?
This was October 1st, so yesterday. He had a meeting with Trump about all this.
And he endorsed... Trump endorses him or the reverse?
I guess he just recalls he had a productive meeting with him.
Okay.
I guess. It looks like Trump is maybe endorsing his opinion about AI, which is interesting.
It's insanity.
Anyways, yeah, we got to wrap it up, right?
Yeah, we better go to the Patreon. Guys, thank you for listening. This has been Sean's show. I love you.
Yeah.
We're going to keep talking about a ton of dope shit in the Patreon. We're going to be talking about colleges banning legacy admissions, which obviously, you know, I will be upset about. And we're going to talk about the hurricane ravaging the South in the Patreon. So join the Patreon to continue listening. We do extra episodes every week. And on those episodes, my pants come off. If that's part of the show, that's something you're into. I take my pants off. I shouldn't say that in case people actually think I will. Right? My pants come off in the Patreon. Subscribe.
His pants may or may not come off.
My pants may or may not come off in the Patreon. So please join. It's $5 a month, and you support this is a small business.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you subscribe to a Patreon with a large following when you're one of millions?
Yeah, this is a good
one
point.
of thousands.
You're not really you're not a patron of something at that point because it's already
you're a customer. You're a data point.
It's already subsidized.
When you subscribe to us, it's literally us, Gary. You're hanging with me and us and Gary.
You join a small group of patrons of the arts.
You're joining us.
You're like the Medici family.
You're kind of joining a mob. We're kind of a gang. Right?
I mean, yeah.
And I'm the mob boss that will get murdered.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
going to put a hit out on me.
Yeah.
And then it'll be called Mitch's Media.
Beautiful. Okay, well,
All right.
thanks for tuning in, guys. Join us for the Patreon episode. Take care.
Bye.